Hey guys, welcome. Today we'll be talking about runnables and chains in LangChain. Now, what is a runnable? At its absolute core, a runnable in LangChain is just anything that can be executed in a standardized way. Think of it as a function that always has the same calling conventions. For example, every runnable is designed to have these core abilities. We have invoke. If you give it one input, it will give you one output. This is like calling a regular function. We have batch. If you give a list of input, it will efficiently process all of them to give you a list of output. And we have stream. If you give it one input and it starts sending you chunk of output over time as they become available. So this is crucial for responsiveness in AI. Let's take an example to understand runnable. So this is the code that here we are saying tell me about a topic. We'll give one topic to this prompt and it will here then it will format the prompt. That means it is creating the prompt using the topic that is AI here, and then it is after formatting the prompt we are using that to do the predict function. So see here, for this prompt component we have dot format, and for LLM we have dot predict to use these components. Now with runnables we can convert this into something like this. So for prompt we have invoke, for results for LLMs we have also invoke. So similar calling conventions we are using here. If we use chains, this code becomes something like this. So we are combining everything into a chain and we are using dot invoke. So when we combine multiple runnables, it becomes a runnable also. So in this way you can see it's very easy to integrate everything together to create complex chains, to use the similar conventions while we are building a complex LangChain model. Now if you can see here, we have this is one component, this is one component, this is the third one. Then after creating the embedding we have this retriever component, then we have this prompt component, LLM component and output parser component. So it is very easy to build this kind of complex system because of runnables. So output of one component becomes input of another component automatically. Now what is a chain? So in LangChain, a chain is a sequence of calls to different components where the output of one component serves as the input to next, and allowing you to combine multiple operations to achieve a more complex task. Think of it as a pipeline or workflow for your language model application. Instead of performing each step manually and passing data between them, a chain automates this process. So if you look at this example here, this is one component, this is the second component, and this is the third component. So here we have seen this example earlier. You can see without chains we need to write code like this. We need to deal with each component manually, and with chains this entire thing becomes a single line, and then we are using that chain to do the invoking here. This format of using pipe operator to create chains is known as LangChain's expression language, or LCEL. Now here we'll be talking about runnable sequence, runnable parallel, runnable pass-through, runnable lambda and runnable branch. Now what is a runnable sequence? Runnable sequence is a core component in LangChain's expression language that allows you to chain multiple runnables together in a specific linear order. The fundamental idea is that the output of one runnable automatically becomes the input for the next runnable in the sequence. So let's take this sequence. So here we have prompt template, then that output of this component goes to chat OpenAI, and then output of this component goes to string output parser, and then we are finally getting the output. So this is a linear order chain. Now if we check the code, So here you can see this is our chain. So this is prompt, this is LLM, and this is parser. So here this is our prompt: generate a short creative name for a product type called product name, right? So we have two inputs, and here we are giving these two inputs to our chain. You can see, so we are invoking the chain here. Here we are describing the chain, and here we are invoking the chain. And if we run this Python 1, you can see generated them beautiful mornings. You can see here. Now next we have runnable parallel. So runnable parallel is a key component in LangChain's expression language that allows you to execute multiple runnable concurrently or in parallel. Unlike runnable sequence where the output flow linearly, runnable parallels takes a single input and passes it to all its contained runnable simultaneously. So basically we have the input, we have two runnable chains here. You can see we have two runnable components. Using runnable parallel, we pass the input to both of the components simultaneously, and they process the input, and then they give the output respectively. So here what we are doing, we are for this component or this chain is responsible for create a summary, and this chain is responsible for extracting keywords. They both receive the same text here. Now let's see this in action. So here this is our LLM, this is our first prompt, this is the prompt to create summary, and this is the prompt to extract keywords. Now this is our first linear chain, this is our second linear chain. This is responsible for summary, and this is responsible for keyword extraction. And using runnable parallel, we can use both chains simultaneously. So this is the text we are giving to both of these chains, and then when we do this invoking, it will give the results automatically. So clear Python 2, you can see, so we have given the text, and here you can see we have summary and we have keyword extracted. So both chain ran parallelly and gave this output. Now next we have runnable pass-through. So runnable pass-through is a versatile runnable in LangChain's expression language that primarily serve two main purposes. First one is identity function. That means whatever input it receives, it returns the exact input as its output unchanged. And the second one is input manipulation with .assign function. Its most powerful feature is the .assign method. This allows you to add new keys to a dictionary input, modify existing key in a dictionary input. So basically we have this pipeline. When here we are doing like we are creating a summary on a particular topic, then we are creating caption on top of this summary. So but at the end of this pipeline, we need both summary and the created caption. So summary is created from the input text and caption is created from the summary, but at the end we need both summary and the created caption. Hence we are creating the summary first, we are giving that as input to both of these runnables. So this runnable is creating the caption, and this is a runnable pass through. This is simply receiving the summary and passing that to the next level unchanged, and in this way at the end we have both summary and our created caption. Similarly here we receive the input using runnable pass through .assign. What we are doing here is, if the topic is cat, add the adjective key that is hilarious. If it is other than cat, add the adjective key that is thrilling. And in topic we have the text, we have the topic, and in adjective we have the text either hilarious or thrilling based on this condition. And then we'll pass that to runnable sequence and get the output. So here we are just passing the input as it is without any changes, but here we are changing the input based on a condition. Now let's see this in action. So here you can see this is write a short summary about a topic. This is write a catchy caption for this summary. So this is the input for this template would be the summary. Now here what we are doing, we are creating the runnable sequence first to create the summary. Using this parallel chain, we are doing both pass through thing and we are creating the caption, and we are combining everything together. So here summary generation, first we are generating the summary. Remember, first we are generating the summary. Now using the parallel into the parallel chain, we are passing through the summary, and then we are creating the caption. And when we run this, you can see this is the final result. We have the summary and we have the catchy caption here. Now the second type, here you can see this thing, we are building this thing. So the prompt will be write a, this is one key, that is adjective short story about topic in 50 words. So if we give the topic as cat, the adjective becomes hilarious. If the topic is anything but cat, the adjective becomes thrilling. So this is the condition we are writing here, you can see, and this is our runnable pass through, and we are using .assign method. So when we run this, you can see we have run the code. So here if first input is cats, you can see, hence the prompt will become like write a hilarious short story about cats in 50 words, and here we have the short story. And when the topic is space exploration, the prompt becomes write a thrilling short story about space exploration in 50 words, and based on that we have this output. Now this is how runnable pass through works. Now next we have runnable lambda. So runnable lambda is a versatile runnable in LangChain's expression language that allows you to wrap any standard Python function or lambda expression and make it compatible with the runnable interface. So basically, if we have a Python function or lambda expression, we can use runnable lambda to convert that into a runnable. So basically, if let's say we have a function, Python function, that asks greeting to an input. So if the input is Bob, the output of the function would be hello Bob. So we convert that function into a runnable using runnable lambda, and then we use that in the pipeline. So here you can see we have this this function is to do uppercase, and this function is to add greetings. So here we are creating two runnables here using runnable lambda, and then here this is we are using the uppercase runnable to convert this input into uppercase, and then here you can see we are using that greetings runnable, you can see here in the pipeline. So this is a pipeline we have created, and we are using that in this pipeline. So let's run this. So you can see first this is the input, and we are using runnable lambda. We have converted the input into uppercases, you can see. Now here you can see first we are using greetings runnable. So this outputs hello Bob, you can see. Now we are using this output into this entire pipeline, and we are getting this message as a final output from this entire pipeline. Now this is how runnable lambda works. Next we have runnable branch. So runnable branch is a powerful component in LangChain's expression language that enables conditional routing within your chains. It allows you to direct the flow of the data to different runnables based on specific conditions. So it's like an if, elif, and else statement. We have these many runnables and these many conditions. So if the intention is greeting, we'll run this runnable. If the intention is math, we'll run this runnable. If the intention is farewell, we run this runnable. And if it is a default, then we run the general QA chain runnable. Now based on this intention, we divert the data flow into that particular runnable, and after that we'll get the final output. So here you can see this is math solver runnable chain, this is general question answer chain, this is greeting chain, this is farewell chain. So we have 4 different conditions, and we created this function to identify which conditions we are working with. Now this is runnable branch, so we are using runnable lambda here. So for if the condition is greeting, we are using greeting runnable. If the condition is math, we are using math runnable. If the condition is farewell, we are using farewell runnable. Else we are using general question answer chain. So you can see this is a if, this is elif, this is elif, and at the end we have else condition. And we have these scenarios. First, this is hello, this is a greeting case, this condition is for math, this is a general question answering, this is a farewell case, and this is also a general question answering case. Now if we run this code, you can see, so for each case we are running as a particular runnable chain here. So guys, I hope you understood runnables and chains in LangChain. Please do comment if you have any doubts, or if I missed something, I will try my best to clear those. Also, please like, subscribe and share. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.